Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna go over a July 2023 Canmore real estate market update. So let's move on.
All right, so let's just talk about new listings from 2022 of July to 2023. We had 97 new listings in the month of July this year compared to 58 in July last year. So we're up 67%.
Mm-hmm. And we're gonna get into some of these numbers a little bit more specifically because they are a little bit skewed because of some properties that did sell that are new builds, but we'll touch on that in a bit.
Yeah.
Pending listings. In July 2023, we had 86. So that's up 120% from July of 2022, where we saw 39. Do you want to talk about list price?
Yeah, just before we go on, the pending listings is actually sold data. Mm-hmm. So don't get confused when we're talking about pending listings. So list price, this is quite interesting. And again, we talked about why we're going to get into some different things because we don't want you to be alarmed by some of these numbers, even the sold listings.
Yeah.
You know, from 39 to 86. I'll tell you the list price, and then we'll talk about the sold listings. So list price in 2022 in July was 1.370. So and then in July 2023 is about 867. So that seems like a huge number. Everybody that would hear that would go, oh, the market's totally dropping in Canmore. Well, and that's not the case. So what has happened is there's a new project that's being built and it's scheduled to come online in a couple of years, but all of the sold data, those products just got sold. So I think there's 47
hotel condos.
Hotel condos, and 23 of those were in the price range of about $500,000. Mm-hmm. So that would skew that number. Mm-hmm. So yes, the property has sold, but that the product has not hit the market. So that changes our sold data. Mm-hmm. In fact, you know, we did the numbers, and mm-hmm. 39 sold last mm-hmm. month. Mm-hmm. Or sorry, last year, 39 sold this year in July. So if you take out those pre-solds that are not on the market yet.
And it's very similar to what we saw happen last month. We had 40 sales mm-hmm. in June, and in July we have
39. Basically
39, less those pre-sales. Now I just want to confirm those numbers that we were just talking about, the 1.370 and the 867,000, those were list prices. So now I'll touch on the sale price. Sale price for 2022 for the month of July was 1.28 million, and then the sale price for July of 2023 we were sitting at about 881,000. So that's down 31% again because of what we just explained. One thing that's key to note about this statistic though is for July of 2023 we saw an average sold to ask ratio of 102%. Last year we had an average sold to ask of 94%. Mm-hmm. So those numbers are still pretty good for sellers, and the reason why that is because of our active inventory, which maybe you want to touch on that next here.
Yeah, so our inventory actually is down. We have 106 on the market in July this year compared to 156 last year. We didn't dive into that too much. It seems to be the sales and the months of inventory. If you take comparing, you know, last month to this month, mm-hmm. taking out those other properties, it seems to be very on par. So we didn't want to take a month snapshot and go, oh, this is changing drastically. So we'll keep an eye on that next month and let you know what we think that's trending to. You know, we want to talk about days on the market.
Yeah, so days on the market is what we saw drop. 36 days on the market last July and 16 days on the market this July. Again, numbers can be kind of skewed, but we are seeing stuff that is priced properly, like we mentioned last month, move fairly quickly. And like we touched on, a lot of those properties are kind of under that million marker that we're seeing tend to move. We're seeing the bigger price reductions happening on those larger half duplexes, single families, those types of things. So,
and again, next month when we don't have all this, you know, pre-sold inventory in here, we'll get a better snapshot because days on the market's going to be affected as well. Because what happens when they do the pre-sales is they put it on, and the same day it goes sold. So it looks like it's sold in one day. So we'll see what it does next month. Maybe just talk about months of inventory, and we'll tell the folks where we're at and where we were at last month and where the number difference are.
Yeah, so month supply of inventory for July of 2022, we had 2.42 months supply. In July of 2023, we have 2.75. So that is up 14% from last July. However, our month supply of inventory from June of 2023 was sitting at around 3.33%. And I think that's very similar to where we're at now, just because of that skewed data. I think when we're looking at the market for July compared to June of last year, June of this year, we're very much the exact same situation. I don't think a lot has changed. And I think we're going to see that stick for a bit with these interest rates staying kind of where they're at. It sounds like maybe they were talking about one more increase before they potentially come back down again. So I could see it, for the next 6 months, nothing really changing. Obviously, we're still growing here in Canmore when it comes to sale price. But I do think it's going to be at a healthy rate, and the market it's really kind of good for both sellers and buyers right now. It's not necessarily favoring somebody more than the other.
Which is interesting, because you and I looked at the numbers at first and went, holy cow, 86 sold this month.
Yeah.
And until we dove into it and went, oh, okay, all these pre-solds.
Yeah.
And I think we've been preaching this language here for a little bit the last couple of 3 months is it's just pretty much a balanced market in Canmore.
Yeah.
Prices are still trending up. There's some decreases and things, but I think it's just a balanced market, and I don't foresee that changing.
Yeah. Interest rates are keeping the demand a little bit lower than we've seen in the past, and our inventory's keeping those sale prices remaining, holding, right?
Yeah.
So it's very balanced. Let's get into each unit specifically here. I don't feel like we need to dive into any more of that data. I'll start it off. Hotel condo units sold, again, 55. You back the 47 out of there, then we have our actual number, which I think nine, somewhere in there. So compared to July, we don't even need to get into that because the number's so skewed. So there were 55 sales. If you back the 47 new builds, we have around 9. Our average sale price was $811,000, and our average days on market was 8. Again, a little bit skewed because all those come on and they're sold in one day. And then the average sold to ask ratio for those hotel condos is 104%. So maybe you want to move into townhouses?
Yeah, just keep in mind that 104% sometimes can include the GST.
For sure.
It can skew the number.
Well, it always does, whether it's deemed applicable or not.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
back your 5% or whatever.
You're probably close to the 100%. So townhomes, I've got to get my glasses on. I'm getting old. So townhomes, 11 in the month of July compared to 10 last year. Average sold price is just over $1 million. Average days in the market, 36. So still a very strong market that way. And average sold to ask ratio is 97%. So again, we're holding. It's probably one of the markets that is a little softer, or where we see more of the price decreases.
Yeah, would agree. Apartment units, 8 sales for an average sale price of $528,000. The average days on the market for those apartments was 25, and the average sold to ask ratio was around 99%. So we are seeing the average sold to ask ratio still remain strong on those apartments and most of the property types that we do have in here. What about single family? What did we see?
Those single families, we saw 5 sell in July this year compared to 11 last year. So we're down 54%. That seems to change month to month, just depending on what's available and what can sell. The average sale price of a single family home was almost 1.6. Average days in the market was 35, and average sold to ask about 95%. So again, up from last year of 90%.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, those, and we'll get into the half duplex statistics here, but those single families in the half duplexes, the properties that are priced a little bit higher, those are the properties we're seeing usually sell for under list price a little bit.
Yeah.
I'll move into tourist homes. 5 sales in the month of July for an average sale price of $879,000. So the tourist home data is not skewed because the pre-sales were all hotel condo. The average days on the market for the tourist homes were 19, and the average sold to ask ratio 103%. So do keep in mind that the GST is typically added on to that unless it's used for residential purposes. So half duplexes.
Half duplexes, we saw 2 sell in the month of July compared to 1 in the month of July last year. 1.655 is the sale price. Average days on the market were 46, and the average sold to ask was about 90%. And again, that's off, about 7% from last year. So it'll be interesting to watch that data as we move forward.
For sure. Okay, so that kind of wraps up the different types of properties. Do we maybe want to quickly touch on I know I mentioned it briefly previously, but what are we seeing happening? Where are we seeing it going? Obviously, I'm in the standpoint that we're in a pretty balanced market. Interest rates are high, inventory is low. It's keeping things on a level playing field. I project it to kind of remain the same. Although I do see prices increase, I don't necessarily think, I've had some clients ask me, should I sell now? Should I wait? Should I buy now? Should I wait? I don't think there's going to be any sort of timing the market. Like, I don't think you should get into that. I think if you're ready to buy. Prices are still going up.
Yeah.
If you're ready to sell. I don't think waiting is going to serve anybody any benefit.
I think we're out of the COVID,
Agreed.
Spike.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll see that again. If you look at the historical data, it just seems to be pretty level with a few spikes here and there. So I don't know if we'll see that. I did talk to a couple of builders, and they're seeing the same thing. It's kind of flat. There's still lots of building going on. There's just not a lot of land.
Yeah.
So that will be one interesting thing.
Yeah.
Three Sisters, that development area is coming to a close with the land that's available. Silvertip's got some. There's some out at Brewster's Kansas Ranch.
Yeah.
So that type of property for new builds is going to be kind of coming to a halt.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 2 years, maybe it's 5 years. Now, some things could open up, who knows. But that'll be interesting to see how that affects the market in the used market.
Yeah. 1.2, if you're interested in short-term rentals here, and there's a really cool project going on out at Brewster's Kansas Ranch. They do have a couple lots remaining from my understanding. Definitely check that out online or reach out to us if you have some more or you want some more information on that. But it's a very unique project to the valley that I do think has some incredible value for people who are looking for something super unique.
Yeah, absolutely. 22 lots out there, and quite a few sold, and things are going to start rolling out there. So pretty exciting.
Yeah. Well, I think that kind of concludes our video today. If you guys have any questions about the market or any specific types of properties, feel free to reach out to us directly. We're available all the time. And if not, we make sure that we get back to you very promptly. So our information will be down below. Please like and subscribe to the video. It really does help us grow and get this out to people who can benefit from it. And we look forward to updating you with August statistics. So that being said, we'll see you next time.